Hi guys, welcome back to Listen to Myself. This is Pearly. So I know it has been such a long time since I last uploaded an episode. It was, I believe, 3 months ago that I uploaded the last one. Time flew, and I'm so sorry for being absent for such a long time. Yes, and yeah, I'm going to talk about how to find purpose in life. And actually, 4 months ago, I received a comment on Spotify that said, can you do episodes about finding purpose in life and feeling left out, plus different from friends, etc.? It would mean a lot. So thanks for your comment, and sorry for it took me so long to finally do this episode. So, in this episode, I'm going to talk about how to find purpose in life. And in the following upcoming episode, I'm going to talk about feeling left out and what to do when you're feeling left out and different from people around you. So, I'm really thankful for this comment because these are two topics that I always wanted to talk about, but also something that I don't know if I'm in a good position to talk about, especially the topic that we are going to talk about today, how to find purpose in life. I feel like I'm not experienced or knowledgeable enough to talk about such a grand topic, such a big topic. But when I was preparing for this episode, I actually am pretty satisfied of what I eventually came out, what I eventually prepared. It might still sound immature or not that comprehensive in a way or another, but I still want to share it. I still want to share my thoughts. I still want to share my own experiences. So let's jump right in. So, first, I'll define what is purpose in life. It's such a big topic, how to find purpose in life, but let's try to do it step by step and yeah, see if we can somehow figure out together in this process of talking about this thing. So, I'll just read a definition that I got from ChatGPT. Purpose in life is the reason you feel your life matters. It's what gives you direction, keeps you going through challenges, and helps you connect what you enjoy and care about with how you can make a difference for others. It's about living in a way that feels true to who you are and meaningful beyond just yourself. So basically, my own definition of purpose in life consists of two elements. The first element is you are doing what you truly want. And what I mean by truly want is, something that motivates you, even without necessarily giving you any external validation. For example, money or just people around you applaud you for what you are doing or according to your own to your societal standard. It might not be something like that, but it's just like even without those external validation, you still want to do it. There's still this motivation that motivates you to do that every day or very often. And the second element is it has to be meaningful. It has to make you feel meaningful in a way or another. And by feeling meaningful, I would say it's usually tied with other people. It usually has something to do with helping other people or helping this society or helping this world in a way or another. That's at least based on my experience. If I'm feeling meaningful about doing something, it usually has to do with something just beyond myself, not just about myself. Just like what the definition said, it's about living in a way that feels true to who you are and meaningful beyond just yourself. And I think that's really, really important. So these two elements have to coexist in order to have a purpose, I would say, if that makes sense. So I want to first briefly talk about the differences between
goal and purpose. And your goal is basically your what, WHAT. So it's a specific measurable thing you want to achieve. So for example, by the end of this month, I want to finish this book. That's a goal. But purpose is your why, what motivates you to do something, your why behind your action. And also, purpose is the direction you are heading. It's a big direction, it's a long term thing. So it just gives you this general direction of where your life, where you want your life to head to in general in your life. So that's the differences. I think these two concepts sometimes can be confusing, at least for me. But yeah, these two are very, very different concepts now. I hope it makes sense somehow to explain it to you guys. So now I want to share with you guys a bit about my journey of finding purpose. I think I only really started to understand the concept of purpose and also wanted to start to find these things like in university. I think before university, when I was still a college student, I felt like, like when I was still a high school student, I think I didn't even know purpose in life, I didn't even know about this concept. But anyway, yeah, I think I started to only really start to try to find purpose in life after I entered college, university. And I at that time I was really interested in law because I met a very good professor and I really like his lessons. I really like his class, his courses, and that's why at that time I made my purpose. Like my purpose was to go to law school after I graduated from university in the States or Canada, and then I'm gonna help others, help this world by through my legal knowledge, the knowledge that I gained while studying in university or in law school. So that was my purpose at that time. And to be honest, at that time, I was really, really happy that I found this purpose because I needed that. Otherwise, originally, I was like, I didn't know what I want to do after I graduated from university. And at that time, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do something that will make me a lot of money. So at that time, I first wanted to go to become an investment banker, a consultant, and just those glamorous jobs that will apparently make you a lot of money. But not soon, like very soon, I realized this reason, just like, making me a lot of money, it's not enough to motivate me to keep doing this thing. It's not really giving me a sense of purpose. At that time, I think, yeah, that's something that I truly want to do, but I'm not at all finding that meaningful. Like I couldn't see and understand, or I just at that time, based on my limited knowledge, I just feel like, how can an investment banker help this world in any way? I just couldn't see that. And also maybe that's also not something that I'm sure that I actually want to do, I guess. So I soon realized this is not gonna sustain me to do all this hard work of trying to get into this company and trying to work long hours to just do this job. So that's why later I entered into this legal world, and at that time I was really happy. I was like, I finally had I finally found a purpose in life, and I think it's very meaningful for me at that time. Like I get to earn money, and also at the same time I get to help people. And also being a lawyer, at least in my society, it's considered a good job, a good title, and people respect you and things like that. And also I at that time I think that is something that I truly want to do, because yeah, like I'm good at doing it. And then at least when I was still a student, I enjoy studying it. It's pretty fun and all that. But like if you guys have been following me for a long while, you knew what happened already, like after. So after around like 7 years of hard work, I received an acceptance letter from a Canadian law school that I really want to go to. But I ended up giving up my offer and I didn't go to law school, and I did not eventually enter this legal world at all after graduated. And I think that's what I'm going to talk about later, that it's totally fine to change what you want to do and to change your goal, change your purpose, and change what you have been doing all the time. It is totally fine to do that. But I'm going to talk about it later. I'm going to keep continue with my story, with my journey. So I realized that, wait, like, is it really like being a lawyer? Is it really something that I want to do? And like, maybe based on my imagination, based on my understanding, I feel like it's helping people. But is it really that the case, that is that like I could actually help people with my legal knowledge? Maybe, but because I had zero experience working in this legal field at that time, so I think it's very hard for me to imagine exactly in what way can I help this world. Maybe I can help the people around me and to deal with some legal cases and things like that. But I think the first element, something that I truly want to do. Is it something that I truly want to do? This part is lacking. It's definitely lacking. I'm not so sure about the meaningful part. Maybe I do feel that at that time, but definitely not about what I truly want. Like sometimes I feel like things that you truly want to do, it's really hard to figure this out, whether it's something that you truly want to do without giving it a try, or without giving it a try for a long time. Like me, I gave it a try for 7 years and then eventually figure out it's not something that I truly want. So sometimes it can be tricky, but you just have to learn to differentiate your feelings and all that. And anyway, later, so like in 2022 in the summer, when I was supposed to go to law school, move to Canada to go to law school, I realized it's not something that I truly want. And it's just like this purpose that I always had for 7 years. It wasn't a purpose anymore for me at that point. So I quit. So I gave up my offer. I didn't go to law school. And at that time, I felt really lost. And I just needed a new purpose in my life again. Because I would say, like, life without purpose is very hard. If you also don't have a purpose right now, then you might understand what I'm talking about. It's very hard because like there's no motivation, and I don't like when there's no purpose, I don't know what I'm going to do, or even when I'm doing things, I don't know why I'm doing that things, and it's just very hard to keep going for me. So I took a break, and then I started to try different things, and I would say I got very lucky because I started making videos, and then after a few months, I realized this is something that I truly want to do. This is something that I really enjoy doing. And at the same time, so I also find it meaningful because by sharing it with the internet, by sharing it with you guys, I am actually like helping people. Maybe some of you guys, after you watch my video, after you listen to my podcast, you feel happier, you feel better, or you might even be inspired by my content or encouraged by my content, or you simply find it helpful and all that. And I think for me, like just having those direct feedbacks from you guys and just realizing and learning about how I'm having an impact on others, this made me feel really, really meaningful. So, yeah, so that's how I found a new purpose in my life, just creating content on the internet. While a lot of times it gets really hard because um, like I'm technically not getting paid at all. Not at all. Maybe I only just a little bit. I did receive some ads revenue, but it's just so little in a sense that I would just call it close to nothing. And I'm not getting paid, or I'm not getting a lot of external validation, I would say, because like my views fluctuate a lot and all that. So, but this is something that I think after I filtered all these external validation and money and these views from people, like after I filter all these things out, I realized I still want to keep doing it, even though after, let's say, 40 hours of editing a video, only a few people tuned in. I think I'm still really happy of doing what I want to do, and I still want to keep creating. And this is the moment that I realized, yeah, this is something that I truly wanted to. This is something that I'm onto something. This is something that is really special for me, like even without these external validation. So that's my journey. I want to first just share with you guys one important thing that I just mentioned a little while ago, that it is totally fine to change what you have been doing for a long time, or totally fine to change your purpose, and it's totally fine to change what you truly want to do, and to just realize something that is like you thought that was something that you truly want to do, and you realize it's not anymore. Like it's totally fine to change all these things, just like what I share in my journey. I totally changed my purpose. I totally put my previous purpose away, delete them, and I changed totally what I've been doing. And I think a lot of times we have this feeling that what we are doing right now is not something that we truly want to do, and we want to do something else. But a lot of times in the end, we did not change anything because we might feel very, very afraid of changing, because you feel like I have been doing this whole thing for so long, then what else can I do? I I'm too old, or I don't have the skills, I don't have the capability of do something that is completely different or different. Or you might decide not to change because you feel like you tell yourself that I don't know what something else to do, what I don't know except beside what I'm doing right now, what else I want to do. But let me just tell you that it's totally fine to change, and it's totally fine to give yourself a few months or even a year, more time, a few years if you can afford it, to just try a lot of things if you still don't know what you truly want to do. And it's just totally fine to change. Don't let your age and or don't let your capability at that moment, at that time, deter you from changing what you are doing in your life, from changing your purpose and all that. Just don't let those things deter you. You just have to do something to change, and it's completely fine to change. And even if you don't have the skills, don't have the capability, we are all capable to learn new things, every one of us. At that time, I knew nothing about editing. I knew nothing about filming. I did not graduate from a degree of communications or from I don't know, from those broadcasting, social media, and all that. And I didn't have just I knew zero about this world of social media, this world of editing, filming, and just production and all that. But I learned it myself. Like, we can all do that in this age of like where there are so many resources online, and now with all the artificial intelligence, it's yeah, we can all do that. So that's really like one thing that I find really, really important, to just not let those things and age, no, don't let those things to deter you. You can change, and it's totally fine to change. It's totally fine to just say that, yeah, like I realize this is not something that I want, and I'm just gonna change, and no one will care. I would say, like, after you graduate from school and all that, you will realize that as an adult, we are all very busy, and people are busy with their own business, and really, like, there are much less people you thought that would actually care what you are doing. So just don't be deterred by that. And yeah, I'm just gonna, in the end, share with you how to find purpose in life based on my personal experience. So just take it with a grain of salt. I really don't know if it's gonna be a good advice, if it's gonna be helpful, but I think at least that's according to my experience that works for me. So I'm still gonna share. So anyway, step one, and probably the most important step, a good indication of things that you truly want to do, is that when you are doing that things, or when you are talking, especially when you are talking and sharing about that thing, your eyes sparkle with like stars, your eyes sparkle, and then it just makes your eyes light up. It makes your eyes sparkle, and it just makes your eyes shine with excitement. If you have something like that, then you are onto something. This is something that you have to keep. This is something that you have to just keep doing and never stop doing it, no matter what happened, because this is very, very precious. And if you already have something like this in your life, like when you share it with other people, when you talk about it, or when you are doing it, your eyes literally sparkle, then you already have it. You already have something that you truly want to do. Because not that many things in life will make your eyes sparkle when you talk about it, at least according to my experience. So yeah, if you already have something like that, things that excite you, things that energize you, if you have something like this, then never let it go. Never just, and then you have to keep doing it no matter what happened, even if it's not getting you any external validation, even if it's not getting you any money, even if it's not getting you, I don't know, like, even it might be considered as a useless things to do by the society, by the people around you. Never stop doing it. Like, never stop doing it. It's so important. I'm gonna repeat it again and again and again. And for me, I think there are two things like this in my life, and I'm so grateful that I have two things like this in my life that actually make my eyes sparkle when I'm sharing about them. One is skiing, and another is making content. Something just dropped on my shelf. Anyway, so yes, and if you haven't have these things in your life, then start right now. Go find them. Go find it. And just try as many new things as possible as you can. Just constantly try new things. Be open-minded, and just don't be deterred from, just like what I said, your current capability, your current ability, your current skills, and just be open-minded, even if it's something that you find to be crazy. Like, you just have to go try different things, like things that you think you might be interested in. Just go try those things, as many things as you can afford to. And just keep trying, keep exploring, and keep discovering. And I think, and I bet there's something in the world that will make your eyes sparkle when you do them, when you talk about them. You just have to go find them. And I would say that yes, it might be difficult of finding those things, but you just cannot give up, because if you find these things, then you are you discover very precious treasure, to be honest, in your life. And if you already have those things, then just like what I said, it's a very precious treasure of yours, and then you just have to keep doing it. Okay, you just have to. And after you found these thing, try to think how this thing can make this world a little bit better, make this society a little bit better, or people around you a little bit better, even if it's just a tiny bit. But first, it has to be something that you truly want to do, that energizes you, that excites you, that makes your eyes sparkle, and then you try to see how it can help people around you in a way or another. And that's how you find purpose in life. That's my take. I hope it makes sense. I couldn't help you to find these things, but I can give you suggestions. I can give you advice like what I did just here. And just a very big indication is what I just mentioned, that if it's something that you realize that's making your eyes sparkle, then this is your thing. This is your thing. And this is a big indication. And yeah, that's about it for today's video. I don't know if it makes sense. I hope it makes sense. And I'll talk to you very, very soon in the next video. And I'm gonna talk about what to do when you feel left out and different from people around you. Yes, that's what I'm going to talk in the next episode. And just FYI, if you like listening to my podcast, I know like when I was resting for these past 3 months, there are still people joining and tuning my podcast every day, and I really, really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I honestly don't know if my podcast is of any good in quality, but one thing that I'm sure of is like I share it really from my heart. This is something that I wish I could have known when I was younger, so I want to share it with you guys here. But anyway, this podcast is my plan is to make it bi-weekly. It was originally bi-weekly before, but since I've been taking so much rest, my schedule was a bit of a mess. But it should be bi-weekly, this episode. So just remember and stay tuned for the next episode. 2 weeks later, I will come back and then I will share with you guys, talk to you guys again here in this podcast. And thank you so much again for tuning in, for listening, and I'll talk to you guys and see you guys very, very soon in the next video or in the next episode if you are listening to it on podcast. Bye bye. Bye bye.